Welcome to League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Rengar, the not-so-assassin knife cat anymore that everybody says he is. Before I get started with the video, I gotta give you a couple of disclaimers. No, I'm not trying to represent anyone but myself. These are just my views and my opinions of the rework. And please have in mind that I am a solo queue player. I played Rengar in Season 4, 5, and 6. I would like to think I had a fairly successful run when I really enjoyed playing Rengar. I think that Rengar's theme and playstyle are already fairly well known. He's been in this game for a long time, and people already have a good idea of who he is and what he came here to do. And that's why I fell in love with Rengar. I think this is one of the most important things of why I started playing him. I want to say I'm a selfish player. I love doing things by myself. I don't like to rely on other people. That's the reason I started playing him. That's how he feels to me. Like this selfish champion who does stuff by himself. He can carry the game by himself, doesn't have to rely on others. I love that. That's why I decided to start playing him. That's one of the biggest reasons. And that's how I felt that his theme actually is. He's this lone hunter who tries to do all stuff for himself, wants to be the strongest, the best, which was awesome. Now, ever since the rework was announced, I was really anxious and scared. I didn't know if this was gonna get changed. I really wanted him to stay as he is. Just don't change his theme, the playstyle, please. I love this. It's awesome. And plus, above all else, he's an assassin, which fits even better with everything together. When the rework was announced, I was really scared. I was asking Riot, everybody was actually, that plays Rengar, is he going to remain an assassin, or what are you going to do? Because in past, Riot proved that they want to push him more to a fighter style. I'm not going to discuss that if it's OP or players don't like that. I'll leave it to you guys, but that's not why I'm here. I just want to present to you why I feel that the rework failed and why I feel it's frustrating to play Rengar. So let me get on to my next point I want to make, which is Rengar's rework was actually demanded and it was actually pushed on Riot. Basically, Riot was forced to do something. It was done either by posting on League of Legends subreddit or on League of Legends boards, and eventually it became a meme. And this is why I say that rework was rushed and it was just forced. I don't think the Riot had a good idea of how to rework Rengar, or do they even wanted to change him. I really think they didn't. The reason I say this is because rework for me feels lazy and rushed. It feels clunky and totally uncreative, and this just makes Rengar frustrating to play, and I would like to back all of this up in the next segment. First, I would have to explain Rengar's abilities to you, to paint a picture, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll try to avoid it as much as possible because I'm pretty sure you already know how he works. So for start, let's compare Rengar's Bonetooth Necklace, which is his passive. I'm gonna compare it to how it was before the rework, the most recent Bonetooth Necklace, and then I'm gonna compare it to today's Bonetooth Necklace. So let's have a look. Bonetooth Necklace. So we have Momentous of the Hunt. Rengar collects trophies when killing enemy champions and gains bonus effects based on how many trophies he has. Rengar gains 1 trophy whenever he scores a kill or assist. Let's have a look at these bonuses. It says 3 trophies. Rengar gains flat movement speed while out of combat or while in the brush. 6 trophies. Unseen Predator gains 125 bonus range. So when Rengar starts the game, he has 600 range when inside the bush. Obviously, Unseen Predator is the jump range. That's what we're talking about here. And then after he gets a couple of kills, his range increases by 125 units. Now, after the rework, Rengar's range is actually 725 as soon as the game starts. Riot actually did give out a statement to why they did this. They said, we want our players to feel comfortable about Rengar's range, we don't want it to change throughout the game. I mean, it's good that I have this big range from the start of the game, but ultimately it's not, and I'll explain why. Next, we have 12 trophies. Thrill of the Hunt's stealth duration is increased. At the start of the game, it's 7 seconds, and then if you get a couple of trophies, as you can see right here, it actually gets increased to 12 seconds. And then we have 20 trophies. Thrill of the Hunt's bonus movement speed is doubled. Obviously, when you activate your ultimate, you get movement speed. It's doubled, right? And next, we have scoring a kill or an assist on Kha'Zix during the Hunt is on event causes the item to grade up into Head of the Kha'Zix, which grants 20 trophies automatically, fully stacked, right? Which was awesome. I think there was also one more bonus, which is you actually get bonus vision range when inside the bush. Something like that. I could be wrong. So we can see how we have all these interesting, unique bonuses and all of these things. And you also gotta work for this. Look at this. You gotta get 20 kills or assists. That means you have to contribute to the game. It actually forces you to do something. You can't just AFK farm or something. No, it doesn't work. Oh, can we just please have a look at all of these shiny, beautiful Bonetooth necklaces? Look at this. You got yellow, you got red, you got blue. If you want to be goddamn Power Ranger, we got you covered. No problem. However, after the rework hit, we have Bonetooth Necklace a little bit changed. Let's have a look at what we have. Rengar gains the trophy whenever a champion he damaged in a previous second dies. Rengar can only gain 1 trophy per enemy champion. That means up to 5 trophies total, or with an additional trophy made available through the event The Hunt is On. So let's have a look at all of these rewards you get. 1 trophy. Rengar gains 1 plus 1% bonus attack damage. 2 trophies. Rengar gains 3 plus 3% bonus attack damage. 3 trophies. Rengar gains 7 plus 7 bonus attack damage. I would swear, you know, I saw something different before. So I was hoping for something more creative, but it's fine. Okay, I get it. 4 trophies. Rengar gains 13 plus 13. Oh my goodness. 5 trophies. Rengar gains 20 plus 20. Head of the Kazakhs. Rengar gains 30 plus 30. You know, I swear, I was hoping for something at least special about the head of the Kazakhs to, you know, some special reward. Obviously, I'm really disappointed when I'm looking at this. I can't even discuss this properly. So you can see when we compare how Bonetooth Necklace was to how it is right now. This is utter shit. Excuse my French. But this is just awful. It's so... I don't know whoever created this. Just... this... You cannot even call this a creation. This is totally uncreative. They couldn't even give you, like, some different numbers. All these numbers are same. Look at this. 1 plus 1, 3 plus 3, 7 plus 7. Jesus Christ, when I have to invoke the god in here, you know, it's serious. So you can see how this is just pure laziness. They couldn't even figure out some special bonuses, something else, you know, something different. The only statement they gave out, as I said, was, oh, we are going to make his range 725 right off the start of the game, so players get used to it. See how this affects the game a little bit. See how it's way easier to play Rengar now, and this is why I said ultimately this bonus, this bigger range at the start of the game is not what I like. You know, it's fine for you to look at it and be like, oh my goodness, so much range, why are you complaining? However, as you can see, the game is way easier right now. It's way easier to play Rengar, and it's way easier to learn him. You can just look at him, play him for 3-4 games, and you already know all of these things about him. Before, I had to actually remember all of these bonuses. That's why it actually took me 20, 30, 40 games to learn these bonuses for Rengar, because I did not know them from the top of my head. I actually had to memorize them. Now it's way easier. That's why when somebody tells me, oh, look at it, you know, this game's so hard to play, and I'm like, what is hard about Rengar here? You gotta master Rengar. What do you have to master? Please, somebody explain to me what do you have to master about this new Rengar. Nothing. The only thing you gotta practice a little bit is the bush jump. So if you want to jump from a bush to a certain place or a certain monster, you actually maybe have to practice that a little bit. Other than that, that's the only thing I see that you really have to practice, you know, master. What else you gotta master about Rengar? Nothing. Here's one thing that's really frustrating about the new Rengar, and that's ultimately, that's why I'm saying I don't like this, because the game is being dumbed down. Okay, in the next segment, I would like to have a look at the Rengar's resource bar. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about his empowered abilities. I'm gonna compare them how they are and how they used to be. Again, so let's have a look at how they used to be. Rengar has a resource bar that's called Ferocity. Once he fills up that bar, he can actually use empowered ability, which gives him some extra damage or a bonus special effect or something like that. Before the rework, Rengar had to get 5 stacks of Ferocity. Now he has to get 4. Before the rework, Rengar would keep his Ferocity until he fills up the bar and he uses empowered ability. Every time Rengar uses an empowered ability, his resource bar goes back to 0. Before the rework, Rengar would keep his Ferocity throughout the game. Now, his Ferocity expires after 6 seconds. Before the rework, Rengar actually had to figure out how much Ferocity he wants to have. Okay, do I want to have 3 Ferocity before the fight or 4? Or do I want to have 5 and go for the assassination? So those were the decisions you had to make, and you actually had to take time to stack those Ferocity up before you go into the fight. Now, that doesn't happen at all. You always have 0 Ferocity before you go into the fight, because as I said, it expires after 6 seconds. Core of Rengar, as I said, is his Ferocity bar and his empowered abilities. As an assassin Rengar, you want to charge up your bar as fast as possible so you can get to your empowered ability. Usually it's the Savagery, because it gives you more damage, which means more burst, which means faster kill. However, all of this was put together and just tied with a shoestring to somehow somehow make it look like it's working together, but it's actually not. Let me explain why. Obviously, you can see how if the Ferocity expires, well, how can Rengar actually be an assassin? Because obviously if it expires, then, aren't those characteristics for fighter champion? Again, as an assassin Rengar, you want to get to your empowered ability as fast as possible for that extra burst, for a faster kill. That's why you're called assassin. God damn it. However, Riot actually took time to redefine the assassin meaning. Now it's not so assassin anymore. The way you stack up your ferocity right now is if you jump from a bush and you have 0 ferocity, you actually get 1 stack of ferocity for that jump. You also get 1 stack of ferocity for every basic ability you use. However, to get to your empowered ability, again, you want to use them as fast as possible. Let's have a look at Battle Roar. Passive. Rengar stores 50% of the damage he's taken in the last 1.5 seconds as Grey Health. If he activates his Battle Roar, Rengar deals magic damage and he also heals for that Grey Health that he stored in the previous 1.5 seconds. I think you can already see how this doesn't work with Assassin Rengar. Because you want to get to your empowered ability as fast as possible, you're not going to wait for this 1.5 seconds of Grey Health to stack up. So you're not going to wait for somebody to damage you, which means you are basically going to waste one of your abilities. I don't think there's a single champion out there who has to waste one ability to do something. There's one more thing I want you to have in mind when it comes to Rengar's Ferocity. If Rengar uses any empowered ability, he actually gets bonus movement speed. So here's another reason you might want to get to your empowered ability as fast as possible as an Assassin Rengar. Obviously, this movement speed bonus didn't actually exist before this rework. Before the rework, if you use his W, you actually get some defensive stats. If you hit an enemy champion, or if you hit multiple enemy champions, you actually get even more defensive stats. Not a lot, but the bonus was actually helpful for Assassin Rengar. As far as Rengar's other abilities go, let's just take a quick look. Before the rework, Rengar's Q, which is his Savagery, was actually empowered auto attack. Right now, it's a skill shot that has a cast time. It doesn't have a big range, and since it has a cast time and Rengar is an assassin, it just makes it even more frustrating to play around. Before the rework, if Rengar uses his empowered Savagery, his attack speed and his attack damage get increased for a couple of seconds. I think it was about 4 to 5 seconds. Right now, his empowered Q only deals extra damage, and his Bola Strike stayed pretty much the same. Finally, I would like to take a look at his ultimate, which is Thrill of the Hunt. The way I feel about playing Rengar right now is not only am I playing against 5 other players, but I'm actually playing against the game itself. Every part of Rengar's ultimate is counterplayed. And not just counterplayed a little bit, but really counterplayed. Let me show you this in the next segment. I would like to break down Rengar's ultimate so we can see what he gains from the ultimate and how this is counterplayed. I'll do this by showing you this graph. So on the left side we have Rengar's pluses and how are they counterplayed. Rengar becomes camouflaged. Rengar gains bonus movement speed. Rengar gains unit vision of nearest enemy champion. Rengar can crit closest enemy champion he jumps on. And now let's have a look at how this is counterplayed. Rengar becomes camouflaged. The way this works is camouflage is a form of stealth. What it means is if you move close to enemy champions or if you are close to control wards, they actually reveal you, so you are not actually invisible. Rengar gains movement speed. There's not really some specific counterplay here except, just regular slows and stuns and so forth. Next we have Rengar gains unit vision of nearest enemy champion. The way this is counterplayed is enemies are actually notified who Rengar can see. The way this works is they actually get a notification above their head, which looks like Rengar's eyes. You can see it right now, and that means Rengar can see that particular enemy champion. Next we have Rengar crits closest target he jumps on. Again, the way this is represented is by enemy champion that's closest gets the notification above his head. The way this is counterplayed is enemies can actually switch positions, so notification can switch. As you can see right here on the screen, I'm moving and notification actually changes from certain enemy to the other, because when I'm moving, the other enemy champion is now closer to me, so therefore notification switches positions. So you can see how really easy it is to counterplay this. And I also have some extra counterplays as far as the ultimate goes. Rengar's ultimate actually has a 2-second delay, which means during this time window Rengar cannot perform his jump. However, enemies instantly get notified that he used his ultimate. Even though he still can't jump, they already know that he pressed R. We also have if Rengar uses any ability, even if it's an auto attack or even ignite for example, he loses his ultimate, even during that 2-second delay window. We also have enemies can use Rengar's notification to determine where he is coming from, because remember, as enemies switch positions, now somebody else is closer to Rengar, and because of that, notification will switch position as well, as you can see right now. So the enemies can use this to really easily figure out where Rengar is coming from. And one of the most important, in my opinion, is the range of this notification. It's actually 2000 up to 4000 units. So as soon as Rengar can see somebody, that person immediately gets notified. I can play around some of these, but some are just frustrating to have. Like this 2-second delay where I lose my ultimate, it just pisses me off when this happens. What's frustrating even more is during this 2-second time window where I can't jump, or even when I'm in my ultimate, if I use ignite or exhaust for example, I still lose my ultimate. This vision radius goes all the way to 4000 units, which is crazy. They can actually figure out where I'm coming from. There's so many things which frustrate me, and it's not even that hard to determine this. Since Rengar was reworked, he's just not fluent. Ever since they started tweaking his delay cast times and whatnot, he has just become so clunky and frustrating to play, and that's why I haven't enjoyed the game. Yasuo is so fun to play because he is a fluent champion. No matter how much you nerf him, if numbers, whatever, he is still fun because he's fluent to play and interesting to play. Rengar used to be like that, now he's not. Again, because of all of these delays they put on him and whatnot. It's frustrating. So if you followed throughout this whole video somehow and you were able to understand all of this, thank you so much, and I hope you can actually see right now why Rengar is so frustrating. This slow champion who used to be fast. That's the main thing why I dislike playing Rengar right now. I know how he was. He used to be fluent, he used to be interesting to play, and right now he's not. This is just clunky, slow. So that I guess that's like me trying to summarize this into one sentence. I guess TLDR. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you stayed through all this video. If you did, thank you so much. Post it in the comments below. I'm gonna slap a like to you right now. That's it. I'm ending the video right now. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.